Starting a business is challenging. Building a business is more challenging. Transitioning to full-time entrepreneurship is the most challenging. Why? Because you're doing lots of balancing acts, which can get very overwhelming. Good for you if you have someone supporting you financially, like a significant other or a family member. But that's very rare. Most of the time, we're trying to make ends meet over here while building a business over here. And that can really drive you crazy. And I know how that feels. I've been there and I've cried many times. But if not for that, I wouldn't have learned what I'm going to share with you in this video. In this video, I'm going to teach you the different phases of transition and how you can navigate successfully in each phase. In case we haven't met, my name's Lisa Mackey and I help driven people like you start and build their dream business successfully. And may I ask a favor from you? Can you give this video a like and share it with at least 3 people you know? That will help me continue my mission of helping people like you start and build their dream business successfully. I also upload a new video every Wednesday, so hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of every video I post. So going back to the transition, this is the most difficult part in building a business. Many entrepreneurs quit because it can get really overwhelming and some entrepreneurs get stuck. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about the different phases in transitioning to full-time entrepreneurship. And nobody seems to talk about this. I mean, people talk about where they used to be and now they're full-time entrepreneurs or how difficult it was, but nobody really talks about the phases of entrepreneurship. So this is what I'm going to teach you. It's not only the different phases, but how to successfully navigate in each phase. So if you haven't crossed over to full-time entrepreneurship or you haven't even started a business, this video will open your eyes and it will help prepare you and it will help you be successful in your journey. Sounds cool? Well, watch this video up to the very end. Incidentally, I have a free webinar that will help you transition smoothly from where you are to full-time entrepreneurship while helping you also maintain a work-life balance and while helping you also build a successful business. So check the link in the video description after watching this video. There are 5 phases in transitioning to full-time entrepreneurship. The first phase is the desire. Second phase is decision. Third phase is implementation. Fourth phase is waiting. And the fifth phase is the crossover to full-time entrepreneurship. It all starts with a desire. It may have been a childhood dream, or maybe someone influenced you, or maybe you just got so sick of having a boss. This desire is so powerful. It is powerful to make you the entrepreneur you were created to be. Once the desire is there, it turns into a craving. And you know how cravings work. You're gonna have it. You think of it every single day. You fantasize about yourself driving a new car or buying a new house or maybe even being interviewed on TV or traveling. You just think about it and fantasize about it every single day because that's how cravings work. People who want to start a business but don't follow through don't even have this desire because this desire that's so powerful turns into a craving. Some people just have the fantasies. They don't even follow through. But even if you have the desire, granting that you are able to reach that desire phase, that doesn't make you an entrepreneur right away. Because you can get stuck in fantasizing because that is a safe zone. And the brain is known to want to stay in a safe zone because it's afraid of any change. So what happens is when the brain gets scared, it will come up with excuses that will stop you from moving forward from your fantasy world to making it happen. Because what happens is the right part of your brain, I mean not the right or the left, but the correct part of your brain, the brain that is leading you to the right path, is telling you sign up for the webinar. Come on, let's start with your business. But the other side of your brain, which is the brain that wants to stay in the safe zone, is the one that is stopping you from moving forward. So because you have that desire that turns into a craving inside of you and you have a brain trying to pull you back to your safe zone of just staying in that fantasy world, you're going to be really overwhelmed. You're going to be pulled back and forth Like 1 minute you're here, the next minute you're here. And this is why you keep changing your mind and you cannot make up your mind. So what do you do when this happens? How do you navigate successfully during this phase? Because this is the first phase. If you don't learn how to navigate in this phase, you're not even going to move forward to the next phase. So the way to navigate in this phase is to hold yourself accountable. And honestly, the best way to do that is for you to invest in something. Because when we invest in something, we take it more seriously compared to just getting things for free. Yes, there are things you can have for free, like a free blog to read or a free video to watch. But if you stay stuck on just the free stuff, you're not going to take it seriously. So invest in that online course, invest in that coach, spend money, invest. I'm not saying spend so much, but when you invest something and when there is a deadline, you will be held more accountable than not having any deadlines and not having anything that you invest in. This will turn your fantasy to a reality. And if this is scaring you right now, this is just confirming what I've been telling you, that brain is going to pull you back to its safe zone. You can also join a group that will hold you accountable. Now, once you've made this decision to have an accountability and something that you will invest in and something that you will stick to, like a deadline, then you will be ready for the next phase, which is the decision. So this decision phase is when your fantasy finally turns into a reality. You're not saying anymore, I want to be an entrepreneur. You're actually starting to be an entrepreneur. You're learning how to be an entrepreneur, and there's somebody making sure that it happens. In this phase, you will also learn how to build your business, and you will also understand how long it's going to take to make that happen. So what challenges are you going to face in this phase? Well, that brain is so persistent. It will keep pulling you back to your comfort zone, and you become more vulnerable to that when the people around you are not supportive of you, especially the ones close to you. You may have a significant other who's not really in agreement with you to be a full-time entrepreneur. And so that significant other may be questioning your decision every now and then on whether or not you should be a full-time entrepreneur. And that can really be very challenging. And this is why having that accountability is so important, and having something that you have invested in, because now you're really going to stick to it no matter what happens. It's also important for you to surround yourself with the right people. Follow the people, the influencers who have been there ahead of you. Be a member of groups, networking groups, whether it's social media or actual networking groups, so that you can also talk to people who are going through the same thing you're going through and be encouraged in the process. Incidentally, I have a Facebook group for Christian women. So if that is you, then check the link again in the video description after watching this video. I'll be happy to have you in that group. So after the decision phase comes the implementation phase. While the decision phase is the starting your business phase, the implementation phase is the building your business phase. So this is where you apply everything you've learned from the previous phase, whether it's through a coach, through a mentor, through an online program, through a support group. Everything you've learned there about starting your business, you're going to apply over here and build your business. Now, the decision phase and the implementation phase can overlap. So this can include registering your business, creating your brand identity, hiring people, finding your niche, and every other aspect of building a business, including creating your marketing materials, putting up your website, choosing your social media platforms, etc., etc. So this is where you actually build your business and even launch your business and finally offer your products and or services. Two of the biggest challenges in this phase are time and money. If you have a full-time job, if you have another business, if you have kids that you're taking care of, then time can be a challenge. Like finding time can be a challenge. And then, of course, money is always a challenge because you require money to build your business. So how do you navigate through these challenges? Well, first of all, let's talk about time. You need to set a time and commit to it. Whether it be an hour a day or it be 2 hours every week or every weekend, you have to set time and commit to it. This should be non-negotiable. You also need a list of things that you need to do so that when you finally have the time, you have your list, you have your plan that you can refer to so that you will be able to utilize that time wisely. So this is where that accountability is really crucial. As for the money issue, it's always good to count the cost so you can take it one step at a time. You don't just quit your full-time job and jump into full-time entrepreneurship. In fact, the first and best investment you should make is that accountability I was talking about earlier. Something that will teach you how to start and build your business successfully so that you can keep track of your progress. The accountability, that accountability in itself will help you stay on track so you'll not be all over the place and wasting a lot of money. It's not really the amount of money you spend, but how you spend it wisely. So granting that you only have $1,000, what will you do with that $1,000? There are so many vultures out there waiting for people like you. You're gonna have people flocking to you, offering you how to grow your social media account or how to scale your business, and how to build your website. And all those things are good, but they should come later on. What you need right now is to build a foundation. So that is where you should invest your money in. Anything that will help you build the foundation of your business, which means will teach you how to start and build your business successfully. So you can utilize that money more wisely. And I promise you, with that $1,000, you can find an online program that will help you in this entire process before you even invest in other things. I actually have an online course that will help you do just that. And that is even less than $1,000. But I'm not going to offer that to you right now. I'd rather invite you to my webinar first because that's free, and then see from there if you want to proceed to my online program. Then comes the next phase, the waiting phase. Well, this is my least favorite. I'm sure you're going to agree with me. This is not my favorite. And yet, this is one lesson that we will constantly learn. This is one situation that we will constantly face for the rest of our lives here on earth, so we might as well learn how to navigate successfully, right? The waiting time from the time you start and build your business to making your first sale, and from your first sale to making more sales, and from making more sales to finally making a business profit that will be good for you to finally transition from where you are to full-time entrepreneurship is really a test of patience. This is why a huge percentage of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. And to be honest with you, this is based from my own personal experience and based from the experiences of people I've worked with. It takes at least 6 months to a year before you start seeing good results from your business. And that is if you start and build right. That is if you launch properly. Because most of the time, the delay is caused by not really knowing what to do. And that happened to me. I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I was wasting a lot of time, which took me a longer time. To make the most of this waiting season, it takes an understanding that transitioning from where you are to full-time entrepreneurship is a process. So that's where it begins. Making the most of this waiting phase is not only going to help you navigate successfully, but it will also help you build a successful business. So this waiting phase is meant for you to build connections. It's meant for you to learn. It's meant for you to hone your skills. Everything that is going to be beneficial for you and your business. Don't rely on this business as your only source of income until it starts making the money that you need to sustain you. So don't just quit that full-time job. If it's getting too demanding, look for a part-time job or other sources of income. It just relieves you of stress when you have other sources of income while building your business and waiting for it to reach a certain level where you can finally say, I'm ready to transition to full-time entrepreneurship. So while waiting, use this to build your connections. Join as many networking groups as you can. Keep promoting your business. Wherever you go, just keep talking about it. And keep offering value to others, whether they're paying or not, because this is going to spread the word. And just Join as many networking groups as you can, whether in person or social media, online groups, because this is really going to help you grow personally. It will also help you grow your business. So learn, grow, connect. As you do this, more clients will come your way, and then you'll be ready to cross over, which is the last phase in the transition. Well, actually, it's the last phase, but it's also the beginning of another phase, which is meant for another video. So what I shared with you in this video are the different phases in transitioning to full-time entrepreneurship and how to navigate through each phase. What you learn in my free webinar are the frameworks that will help you transition smoothly to full-time entrepreneurship while building a successful business. Now, this is really going to hold you accountable, and it's free. So go ahead and head to the link in my video description after watching this. And because I have limited seats only, I have limited spots, you might as well reserve your spot today. Well, I'd love to hear from you. What resonated with you the most in this video? Please leave your comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so you'll be notified of every video I post on Wednesdays. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again in the next video.